Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Hey everyone, if you've ever felt that itch to launch your own venture, but you just felt completely stopped in your tracks by a lack of funds, well, today's explainer is absolutely for you. We're going to be breaking down a framework that literally removes financial barriers entirely. We're talking about starting a halal business right from your home with absolute zero capital.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Usually when we talk about starting a business, the very first things that pop into our heads are pretty daunting, right? We think about securing funding, taking out massive bank loans, or worst case, completely draining our life savings. But this framework, it completely flips that traditional narrative on its head. It centers on a total lack of financial barriers. It's a truly level playing field where your starting budget is, literally, $0. It proves once and for all that capital doesn't have to be the gatekeeper to your ambitions.
So the core premise here is brilliantly simple. Start a halal business with $0. Launching without that heavy, gravitational pull of initial financial debt, it gives you this pure, barrier-free momentum right out of the gate. It's almost like strapping a rocket to your ideas.
Let's look at Section 1, the $0 launch and breaking the capital barrier.
Now, what's really interesting about this concept is the contrast. We've all been taught to associate business with these high capital assumptions. You know the ones: buying upfront inventory, dealing with really expensive overhead, taking on massive financial risk. But actually, by focusing on low-cost business ideas, things like leveraging your service-based skills, doing digital consulting, or maybe freelance writing, you bypass all those traditional stresses entirely. It really challenges us to rethink what physical or financial assets are actually necessary to start a profitable venture. Spoiler alert, it's a lot less than you think.
Let's move to Section 2 and see how this builds into halal entrepreneurship and ethical frameworks.
See, this isn't just about starting any random business for free. It's bound by a very specific standard: a halal business. This means your operations exist within a strictly ethical, faith-based framework. Your zero-capital venture is aligning with clear moral boundaries from day one. We're talking about avoiding exploitative practices, steering clear of high-risk speculation, and absolutely zero interest-based debt. The ethics here, they aren't just some afterthought you tack on later. They're baked right into the very foundation of the whole shebang.
Which brings us to Section 3, operating from home, your living room HQ. So the crucial point here is, exactly like the quote says, you can start from home. By running operations directly from your own residence, you instantly slash your overhead to practically nothing, perfectly maintaining that $0 mark. Whether you're working off your kitchen table or just a tiny corner of your bedroom, eliminating the need for commercial real estate makes the whole daunting task of business building hyper-accessible. It's immediately actionable. You can literally start right where you're sitting.
And this brilliantly illustrates how it all comes together. When you combine these three foundational pillars, you basically get the ultimate lean startup method. Think about it. A launch requiring absolutely zero upfront capital, operating entirely within an ethical, faith-based framework, and running completely from home without a dime of physical overhead. It is just an incredibly robust, totally risk-free model for modern entrepreneurship.
The structure is perfectly lean, the financial barriers are totally non-existent, so the only missing ingredient right now is your specific idea. Because of that, I want to leave you with this empowering challenge. What halal business will you launch from home for $0 today? Seriously, take this framework, go out there, and take action. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and we'll catch you next time.